Hi, I'm Ryan with Pblcty, and we are in conversation with Kendall Schmidt. Don't go in this area. This is a no touch.
Call 555-72.
I'm a mime. So you were recently immortalized, in my mind, with a cartoon.
Yes.
Now, not many bands have actually been immortalized in this fashion after the fact. Did you ever think that you would be in the company of Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5, on a cartoon side?
Nor have many bands been differently animated as many times as we have.
Okay.
So this was the first time on our TV well, no, actually it wasn't. We did the Christmas episode on the second season, the one that had Snoop Dogg in it. Mm-hmm. There was, oh my gosh, sometimes I look back at this stuff, I'm like, whoa, it's crazy. It was the Yard Squirrel Christmas. So basically we were trying to come up with songs to make the label happy in the episode. Mm-hmm. And he wouldn't let us go on our Christmas break until we did. So we couldn't figure out what the next one was going to be. Finally, somehow Snoop Dogg gets involved. And then we're doing like an animated Christmas song mm-hmm. for this Yard Squirrel Christmas thing. So that's the first time. Then we did Penguins of Madagascar, mm-hmm. In which we played beavers. So
okay.
That's the second time.
That's a challenge.
I've never been animated as a beaver before. And then it might be the last time, I can't remember, maybe I'm missing one, but was this recent one in Big Time Cartoon. And we watched the whole episode recently in Monterrey, Mexico when we were getting ready mm-hmm. for our show. And it was like trippy to watch. Just the whole way the thing unfolded was like, oh my God, like what is happening right now? We're pterodactyls on stage. And then all of a sudden James is a donkey. And then like he's a duck. Like it was like all this weird stuff. It was really cool to watch and to see the actual process of it being made, because obviously he had to plan. Scott Phillips, the guy who creates the show, had to plan way ahead. Mm-hmm. But you know who did the animation was Butch Hartman.
Get out here, really?
And I'm a big fan of Fairly Odd Parents. Mm-hmm. I think everybody is. It's just a really funny show, and so it was definitely an honor. I mean, and now I always have that of myself. No matter how old I get, I'll always have. Myself
run a clip of you with like the old Fat Albert and the gang.
That's the kind of stuff in 20 years I'm gonna be like, wow.
That's sort of thing your kids may be like, no way, you were a cartoon.
Guess what? I was animated.
Out of all the things that you've been able to establish in your career to this point,
what did you do your whole life? Well, a lot of stuff.
This about sums it up. I'm a pterodactyl. I'm a duck.
And we ended with Big Time Rush on a stage as pterodactyls.
I also saw an interview. You and I believe Carlos were doing an interview for a Spanish. Mm-hmm. outlet, we'll call it. I would say you were suspiciously quiet, throwing out some gracias and bonitas. And how's your bilingualness going? Not that that's a word either, by the way. I haven't even mastered
your
English,
bilingualness,
I guess. Yeah. I'm still working on English.
I done did good in school. I actually can dabble in quite a few languages. Okay. But nothing like...
From your travels?
From the travels. I've been to Germany like 7 times. Mm-hmm. So like you pick up a little bit of German, like hast du gut geschlafen? How'd you sleep? And you say gut und du.
That's the first thing you said?
No, gut und dir.
No. But the first thing you asked is how'd you sleep?
Hast du gut geschlafen?
That that infers that someone was next to you when you woke up.
Yeah. Hast du gut geschlafen? Exactly. I also how to tell a girl she's pretty in almost every language that I've been there.
Okay. Fair
the
enough.
one I can't remember is Brazil, but like German, for instance, is du bist sehr schön.
Okay.
And you go to Mexico, tú eres muy linda, all that kind of stuff. So I've been trying to figure out. Canada, you go, you're really cute. So all the languages I'm pretty good at them.
And so speaking of relationship status, I guess in a way, since you were wondering how someone slept in Germany, you were.
They were asking me that.
Oh, okay. But still, it's the same thing. They're next to you.
Yeah.
But you were recently one of E's. You were E's Hottie of the Week. Now, do we have any idea how Juliana decides this, or does she just walk into the studio and be like, "It's Kendall this week"?
I think she just saw a picture of me and she was like, "I gotta have him on the show."
Yeah. Or get rid
no,
of
it's a fan voted
or get rid
thing.
of the phrase.
It's a fan voted thing, but apparently I'm the first person to give an acceptance speech.
Which took a lot. You must have drafted that for hours, by the way. I don't know if any of you saw that, but it was like,
hey, I'm Kendall. Thanks for making me Hottie of the Week. I'm shocked.
Exactly.
You know what's really kind of messed up though is when I first heard about that, we were in Mexico, and I said, "This is kind of funny, like totally random. I won E! News Hottie of the Week," and James goes, "Yeah, I got that last week."
That's right.
Can I just have one?
just one thing to myself.
It's like, yeah. By the way, if you forget, I'm really good looking.
Yeah, you have 2 older brothers, so you're always third, always getting the hand-me-down blankie or whatever it was.
I am the youngest in the band too. I mean,
and
not by a lot,
but still, and so you get that honor.
Yeah, he's like, I was Hottie of the Week last week. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, did you do an acceptance speech? I think not.
Well,
I did.
You know, the word is they get hotter as the year goes along. So technically, he's not as hot as you.
I would think so.
You like that, huh?
I like your logic.
Yeah, I like that.
I dig it. I can dig it.
Are there any particular mental zones or actual physical locations where you tend to write better? I mean, we were talking during our live broadcast how you read a lot about love, but is there some sort of mental state you need to get into to best produce a hit?
I've always wished that I had that kind of knack to go out and sit on a rooftop with a guitar and just like, blah,
Mm-hmm.
and just write something. And sometimes that happens. A lot of times, it's so weird. When you're taking a shower, something just pops up.
Yep.
And this one's gonna sound really weird. When you're in the middle of a writing session and there's a lyric it's not right and you just can't get it. It always seems to come to me when I'm going pee.
That's really interesting.
Because you're sitting there and you're not thinking about anything.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden you're like, that's it. And you come back in and they always go, really? After that?
And so, what's happening with, you're writing a lot of songs on love. What's happening with the love life?
Well, love.
Mm-hmm.
So I just like writing about love.
Mm-hmm.
And you were asking like funny places where you write songs. A lot of times when you're writing a song, you're in a producer's old LA apartment.
Okay.
So it's not a very romantic place to write a love song. But yeah, I am a lover to the max. I'm a hopeless romantic. So like it just kind of comes out that way. And no, I am single. So a lot of times it's tough because a lot of great songs come from being in a relationship,
sure.
And really liking somebody. But the good thing about having the acting ability as well is to be able to pull from just past experiences and other people's experiences, and also writing about what you think would be cool.
Right.
Like that's sort of what some songs are about. It's just like, well, I think, wouldn't it be nice if people thought about this kind of stuff, and then you write it, and Now, there's a song that I did, just a demo that was called Tip of Your Tongue, that was about a girl who is trying to tell you something and just isn't saying it, and you're basically saying, I'll catch you if you fall, just say, whatever you want to say. So it's a really cool concept, and that's what's been coming out, but I want to write about everything, and I really want to do some crazy track stuff.
Okay.
Different, I want to make competitive songs. I want them to be right next to Blurred Lines and right next to Roar and stuff like that. I don't see why it shouldn't be like that.
So you're going to be doing any collaborations on the production side then?
I would love to. In fact, I would love to do a guest vocal. I'm putting it out in the world. See what happens. Maybe you'll come back to me.
Throw it out, yeah.
To do a guest vocal on like an EDM song.
Okay.
Like if Steve Aoki needs a dude singer for something,
sure.
Or Zed, or Nero, or any of those kind of things, I'm in. Sign me up.
I like it. Let's throw that out there and see what comes back.
Call me.
Aoki, get on it.
Get on it. I'm actually a big Instagram fan of him. I follow him on Instagram and on Vine.
Yeah, because you're more of a Vine guy, right, than you are...
Well, okay, for the videos, yeah,
Sure,
Vine, obviously.
sure.
Instagram video I just haven't really messed with. I think it's too long.
Yes.
13 seconds, hello? No. Who has that kind of attention span?
Who has two
Not
and a
this
half-
guy.
Who has 7
Squirrel!
seconds longer?
I'm just kidding. But I like Vine, and I follow him on Vine and on Instagram because he has like the craziest life.
Mm-hmm.
These guys go to like 3 different cities on private jets every day.
Right.
They play shows where people are just losing their minds.
Right.
And then they hop on another private jet
And
and
they
then go to Ibiza.
Right.
And then they do a show in Ibiza, and then they go to Monaco. And then like that's the kind, like, oh my, what a crazy lifestyle.
Sure.
I mean, even just being in this band's a crazy lifestyle, but that's like, there's like nothing to lose.
And
you're just kind of going for it.
And do you follow, there's actually a Vine celebrity, I guess, right now. She's gone from 0 to 2.5 million Vine followers. Brittany Furlan, a comedian. Have you ever heard of her? You should check her out.
The name sounds familiar
yeah,
now.
she's
Maybe
hysterical.
it's because of that.
We actually did a little an interview with her a week or 2 ago.
How did that happen?
How did the interview happen?
No, how did the...
She says she hasn't marketed at all. With her, it's just been about producing different characters and adopting those characters and, habitually
Are they
posting different
she's
content.
funny, right?
She's funny. It's 6-second clips, so, but there's like basic things where, you're at the Salvation Army or what have you store and, she just starts twerking at the store. Like you do like things that you would see in not a custom
Just
circumstances.
you don't put them together
just
like that.
kind of put them together and it's funny. You're just like, oh, and it's 6 seconds.
I actually got to meet, at the VMAs the other day, he he was one of my favorite Vine comedians, Nicholas McGallis.
Oh yeah.
And he lives here in the city. Like they have, like there's Rudy Mancuso, all those guys are really funny. And there's almost like a comedy troupe on Vine. And he was interviewing for a certain outlet. I can't remember which one it was, but he was doing like all of the, like, oh hey, and
the reporter on air stuff.
And I was coming up to him. I think he was thinking that we were going to do an interview request, and I was like, I grabbed him. I was like, dude, I'm such a huge fan of yours. And he was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'm a really big fan. Like all of your videos are hilarious, and I watch all of them. And he was like, thank you. I was like, can I get a picture? He's like, yes, of course you can.
One of the exciting things about Heffron Drive is you're going in and you have this, from what I understand, you have an arsenal of 50 or so songs that you've already written. Is there one that you've chosen that's going to define the resurgence of Heffron Drive as the initial single, or one in your mind that you're going to go, this is what's going to define us in the
Well, there's a
months to
couple,
come?
and it just really depends on how much I want to push the electronic portion of it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Sure.
I have a song that I love. I'm not going to say the title of it, but that I love that is really dancey.
Okay.
And that's just like, I love to dance, and I love to make that. I mean, when I say dance, I mean like, get pumped.
Yeah.
Listen to like EDM. I just love EDM. It's cool. And then I have a song that I really love equally. It's just acoustic guitar and a simple, just constant, like not even like an electronic beat, just like a kick drum. How
do you balance that through? Are they going to both be on the initial EP, or?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Okay.
Well, why wouldn't? I think figure if the song's good, the thing that ties it in is my voice.
Right.
So it really. Obviously I wouldn't put them right next to each other.
Of course.
I would, put the CD in order so that they made sense, but I don't see why not, and I think if they're both great songs, then they should be on there.
What are the plans for the tour, or do you know yet?
I don't, well, in order to tour, I want to make sure that there's some new music too. I mean, there's a couple shows coming up, but I'm going to be playing the original Heffron Drive stuff, but I want to be able to release music so people can learn it before I go and play like a full-blown tour.
Fair
and
enough.
that's what's coming up. All these writing sessions are coming up, and I'm super stoked for it.
And I asked you off camera before if there was anything that you just wanted to bring up that no one had asked you before. Is there anything that's kind of, tip of your tongue, so to speak? I'm paying attention to the interview.
Oh my gosh, you're so punny. No one ever asks you about your hygiene. How often do you brush your teeth every day?
3 times.
I do too.
For 2.5 minutes each time.
Really?
Yeah.
You're on it.
No, that's just a weird thing.
So
It's one of those OCD things. I'll go out in the morning and I'll be watching Mike and Mike, and I'll start at a certain Mike and Mike on ESPN, and I'll start at a certain time, and then I see the 2 minutes goes in, and I know that it takes me 20 seconds.
Very
to walk
cool.
back to the
You know what?
bathroom.
Nobody ever asked me like what kind of routine I have, like just daily routine.
Okay, why don't I ask that?
Okay.
Why don't I ask the question, so then it's a throw in. So something something a little random.
Okay.
What sort of a daily routine do you have?
So it depends on where I am. If I'm on,
Sure, of
it
course,
really
it does.
If I'm at
Yeah,
home,
I mean that's fair. I should have asked.
If I'm at home, I have the same sort of routine. So
Right.
I'm always I get up and I usually do some sort of. It's so bad. I'm only 22. Like nobody should drink coffee. It's so bad and addicting. Caffeine is awful.
Starbucks stock
But
plummets.
one routine is I refuse to have like chain coffee shop coffee.
Okay,
Just don't like it.
fair enough. I don't drink coffee at
I'm
all.
not going to specify any chains, but I'm just going to say I just don't like it. I
Okay.
want to go to a local coffee shop where the person actually takes the time to make it. And
I dig that.
it's small. Support your local.
Are you like
coffee
that with
brewers.
boutiques? Are you like that with boutiques in general versus
Everything.
corporations?
Everything.
Okay.
And people would even say that I'm a stickler about like my deodorant is all natural. Obviously not antiperspirant because that's bad for you.
Right.
Toothpaste, all natural toothpaste. My toothbrush is recycled.
Interesting.
My shampoo is all organic.
Not
from
meaning
nature.
previously used.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's like made out of
Right.
like yogurt cups.
Right.
And I have
Go-Gurt probably.
Yeah,
'cause
Go-Gurt
yeah,
cups.
Yeah.
I'm really specific about that stuff,
Great.
and some would even call it obsessive. But you know what? I'd rather be obsessed with being like a healthy person than
Respect that.
anything else.
I respect that. You're ahead of your years in that respect.
I hope it catches on.
I do too.
And I
do
hope
too.
that like companies are paying people to advertise good things one day.
Sure.
That'd be kind of cool.
As opposed to all the negative crap that's out there.
Yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Well, Kendall, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I know we just put our hands right in front of this. So this is where we will highlight some of
Conversations
Kendall's
with
things happening
me.
later.